What is up, traders? In today's video, we're going to take a look at the trade I took today. We're going to discuss a few other assets that were posted in the comment section below for the YouTube community. And we're going to look at a few other things because in Sunday's weekly Forex Outlook video, I said to look for a few things to happen, and we're going to take a look at those things. Before I begin, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. And with all that said, let's dive in. What is up, traders? My name is Heath, and this is Trade Talk. All right, so the trade I took today was Pound Aussie. You have Pound Aussie trading down. All right, it's the near-term trend is down, as you can see with this 8-hour chart. All right, you had a strong push down and then a retest, which is just an area for reload sellers to get right back into this market. All right, make sure we're recording. Yes, we are. All right, and then this pop up. We wasted all of the stops here. Let's move it out so you can see. I'll just go ahead and put a line here delineating this high. So you can see that with this wick, we destroyed the liquidity residing above that candle. So essentially anybody that got long there with this push down and retest got stopped out. So, and then you had the real move. And that's just the markets, guys. You just gotta put up with the good and the bad, all right? You can see that we destroyed all that liquidity and then did the real move lower. Now, on this push up, all right, we just simply was testing this market structure area here. Oh, wait, no, we weren't. Duh. Let's go into a smaller time frame chart to find that market structure that it was testing. All right. There we go. All right, so it was testing this candle here, as you can see, a beautiful test. Now, this area was tested once before, and sometimes you'll have more than one test on a legit market structure level. I like to try to find that haven't been tested, essentially when I'm initiating day trades, because that just means that more people are going to get stopped out. It's going to provide liquidity or more liquidity in the marketplace for the actual range expansion to take place. However, you can see here that this was the market structure level. It was retested and then traded away, and then we retested it again and we traded away. Now, this is where we were this morning, all right, in this area. So essentially, I'm not sure where this line's coming from. I did this whole video already, guys, and I wasn't recording. So if you get the sense that I'm kind of rushing through this, I apologize. So let's do it right. Let's go see where this level was coming from. Actually, we would have just had it here. All right, so this was the area that I was watching right here. We came up into it and we traded back away from it. All right, I don't like using doji candles for my levels. You can, but if I put a line there, you will simply see that this candle traded above it. All right, but that doesn't really matter because even with the real levels, the good levels that work out, the market can still close an hourly candle above it. What you want to see though is an absolute reversal out of the area. That just brings more significance and to the level and kind of gives you the idea that you are on the right side of the trade. All right, so this was brought up by Gus in the Conquering the Markets Telegram chat group. He asked me what I thought about it. This morning, I noticed that Aussie was the strongest pair coming into the New York Open at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the New York time. Aussie was the strongest pair at that time, and Pound wasn't the weakest pair, but it was down next to the last three. So coming into the morning, that's what you want to see when you want to initiate positions. When you're trying to trade for the daily range expansion, is you want to trade a strong pair versus a weak pair. All right, because when you do that, that's going to be it usually means that you're going to have a nice strong move. Not always, but sometimes. All right, it's just more data points for you to understand and gather before making your trade, before planning out your trade and finding a setup. All right, so here we go. We traded up in the level and we were failing. So let's drop down into a 5-minute chart real quick, you can see that at this level here, all right, you had just wicks above. All right, now this blue line delineates my position. I will show you my entry and my entry, take profit, and stop loss right now. My entry was at 1.76304. My stop loss, delineated by this blue dotted line, was at 1.76476. And then my initial take profit was the low of day. Now, I understand this isn't the exact low of day. For any new subscribers that have just subscribed in the last few days, I don't put my targets right at the low of day or high of day. I move it roughly 2 to 3 pips on the other side. That way, if price decides to turn around right at that area, it will still take me out of the trade with 2/3 of my position. That way I can move my stop to break even and have a nice profitable trade taken out of the markets. All right, so let's get rid of that. That's this blue line here. Now, so when we traded away, we basically traded range bound. Now, I didn't take a trade yesterday because the only pair that I was looking at that was around one of my market structure levels, my 8-hour levels, where I look to initiate my positions, it was being very, very choppy and range bound and not giving any clear signal. And it didn't actually move away from or do the daily range expansion until after 10 o'clock. And I only look to initiate my positions from really, I like the 8 to 10 o'clock area. That's the sweet spot for me here in the New York area time zone. All right, so here you go. You can see that here we are at 7:50, 8 o'clock. So at this point in time, I am looking to take a position on this thing. And we traded up in here, and I did not get short here for some reason. I don't understand why I didn't or remember why I didn't, but it worked out for me anyways. Once this candle came out and took out these lows and closed lower, I almost thought that I had missed the boat. But unfortunately, or not unfortunately, fortunately for me, it came back up into that area and tested it again. Once it showed another willingness to trade back away from that area, once we took out the low of this bullish candle with this 5-minute candle here. Now, it was just a wick, all right, because then price traded back up. That's where I initiated my position. So on this pushback up, I got short with my stop over here somewhere. It wasn't the high of that candle. It was just like in here. And boom, the trade worked out. So it was a beautiful, beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. This is what you're looking for. And I was targeting the low of day for my first initial scale out to take 2/3 of my position off. You can see with this candle here, boom, push down into that, exit me out of the trade. Then I move my stop loss to break even. If you look over here where it says GBPAUD, you can see this little round circle. That means I am still short this pair with 1/3 of the initial position. And if you look right here, you can see that this is a live account, not a paper trading account. Basically, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for this to continue lower. And my ultimate target on this pair is this area here, this low. And that's coming in at 1.74262. Now, I don't know if that area will get hit. It looks like the market is aiming for that. Now, we did purge this liquidity underneath these 3 lows here. However, we did get a strong bearish close, all right, on an 8-hour time frame. So it looks like the market is aiming for this area here. So any push ups in this market, as long as we're not closing 8-hour candles above this market structure level here, all right, at 1.76396, then I will look to reinitiate my full size position on this pair, ultimately aiming at 1.74262. We close an 8-hour candle back above these candles here. You can see if I just put a line right here how beautifully all these candles are trading in that area. This was the first candle that actually breached and had a nice strong breach. So if we get a close above that area, I am going to be stopped out of this trade. And obviously, I will have to wait and reassess at that time. All right. So that's what I'm looking for moving on or going forward on this pair. Now, if you watched my Forex Weekly Outlook video that I posted on Sunday, I was talking about gold. And I was talking about gold because of this descending trend line that was taken from this high and this high. All right. And if you can remember, I basically said that traders are going to look to short here because it's a trend line and they like to short trend lines. They like to try to short highs and they like to try to buy lows. I don't know why they do that. And if you're a trader that keeps doing that, you stop that. All right. You're here to learn how to trade the right way. So leave all that stuff leave that behind. All right. It's time to look forward, not in the rear view. All right. So we did get that breakout. Okay. Nice big strong push up out of there. Stopped out everybody that had their stops above this high, which was the initial target. And I even said that if you get a strong push out of there, because with stopping all these orders out, if the market's bullish, it's going to have a nice breakout out of that area. And that's exactly what we got. All right. And then I came over here and I said this area here, this last bullish this last up close candle, or this last bullish candle, that area would be a good spot to look for resistance to come into play. All right. Why is this area a good area to look for? Simply because it's the last bullish candle, and then price traded away from that candle, and it traded away from it very hard, and it never came back up and retested that area, which makes this a nice area to look for price to dilly-dally around. And as you can see right now, we are getting that. So far, we have tested this line twice on 2 8-hour candles, and we have closed both of them below. So moving forward on gold, what am I looking for? I'm looking for price to push down and stop out all these people here, and then look to find support at a lower area, roughly 1922.74. Now, I got this area from a smaller time frame chart. Okay, let me see if it was an hourly. Yes, it was an hourly. All right, so it's this last. Oh wait, no, that's not even it. It's this here. Sorry, let me get that out of here. Here's the trend line. So here's the candle that I'm talking about right here. It's this last down closing candle in an uptrend. All right, you have that. Now, in fairness, you did retest this area with this candle here, and then a strong push away. But since the strong push away, we have not been back to test that area. So that is a beautiful area to look for lower high support to come into play. All right. If you get that, if you catch support at 1922.74, I will ultimately be targeting. We have to go back out to an 8-hour time frame for this. Ultimately be targeting this high here. Oh, my bad. Right there at 1965.57. 1965.57. And as you can see, if you get a pullback into this area, now I have this line here delineating the open of this last bearish candle. However, that has been tested already, and it's so close. It is possible that price does find support there. I'm not going to enter that trade if it does. I want the price to pull back further because that makes the risk to reward better, okay? The risk to reward gets way better when you have a bigger pullback. So this area is where I'm going to be looking for support hold at 1922.74. All right, and then I'll be ultimately targeting 1965.572. When am I no longer going to be looking for bullish entries on gold? Is if you clear out this market structure down here on an 8-hour time frame closing basis. You get all the way back down here and you start closing at 8-hour candles below that, then you are probably heading lower. I do not see that in gold's future as long as the Fed is going to continue to just make money out of thin air and fire the printers up and keep them running 24/7. I see gold going higher fundamentally. All right. Technically, gold is going higher. I mean, I don't really use fundamentals in my scalping trades or my swing trades. I use technicals only because, well, let's face it. If you know what you're looking for, it's a pretty good thing to look at. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I have for me. However, I am going to go to the YouTube channel real quick just so that way I can do the community engagement part of this video. So you can see here Kevin Williams wants me to take a look at LAZR and NNDM. Both of those assets are stocks. He asked me to look at silver, but I did tell him, basically what to look for in the comment section right there. Now, I really want to say this about Jordan. I didn't make a video yesterday because I didn't take a trade. And if I don't take a trade, then chances are I might not make a video that night unless I absolutely have something to discuss. Now, I did tell him underneath here that I will look at it in the next video for him. However, there won't be another video by the time the market opened on Monday because this was happening Sunday night. I told him to watch 147.06 and 138.55. Price is already closed below 147.06 area, so I would look for 138.55 to be tested unless tomorrow closes back above that 147.06 level. If it does not, I would expect 138. I will discuss it for you in the next video. And then he said, hey, thank you very much. I picked up a put. Looks like he did the right thing. All right, let's go look at that asset. All right, here we go. Airbnb. Let's go to an hourly time frame. I'll show you real quick. This thing doesn't have much technical data to go by, guys. This thing just IPO'd not too long ago, right here on December the 10th. So there's not a whole lot of technical data to go by. Technical analysis doesn't really work so much on assets like this. All right, so I got my levels from an hourly chart. Essentially, the first area was the close of this bullish candle and then price traded away. And as you can see, once price broke back above this line here, it came back and did a smooth criminal type of test. And see ya. All right. And then it came back and tested again, and then the real move happened. So essentially, that's where I got that 147.06 level. This level here. All right. 147.06. Now, Monday, we had already closed below, or I'm sorry, Sunday when I was looking at it, it was this candle here, and we had already closed below, and we're retesting that area. And I essentially said if you close back above that area, then it's probably going higher. But you can see on that day, it closed lower. So as long as he didn't exit his position on this fake out, he done good. We came down. We tested that 138.55 level that I said would come into play. And as you can see, with all these candles here, we tested it, and we have moved higher. Now, today we had closed an hourly candle above 147.06. All right, this level here. So going into tomorrow, what you want to see is you want to see a test of this area and then some buying to come back into play. Then the next area to look for a retest at is 148.50. That is coming from this last up closing candle before the downtrend started. So essentially, you can see how it just tested that level and fell a little bit. So tomorrow morning when the market opens, if you're gapping down back below 147.06, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to head lower on this thing. However, if you're gapping up above 148.50, look for a retest of that area, and that would be a good spot to look to get long, targeting 153.97. All right, that's for the near term on Airbnb. LAZR. Essentially, I'm looking at the hourly time frame here as well. You are trying to push away. You had a nice push up, and then so essentially you're trading in this range. However, it looks like you have broke below this market structure here at 30.95, and if you get a retest of that area, it might be a good spot to look short. As long as you are not closing hourly candles above 30.95, you can look to get short, targeting at least gap fill at 27.56. However, my target would be 26.50. All right. Now, if you close back above 31.76, which is this last down closing candle's high, open. I did it up here because it's just too close to that line. All right. So if you want to, you want to make sure you have good clear areas to look for trade entries. So if you close hourly candles back above 31.68, you want to see this area hold support. If this area holds support, you can look for 35.91 to come into play. All right. However, it does look bearish. Looks like the bearish trade is in order for this week. However, I could be wrong. So just make sure you're watching hourly closures above those levels. And those levels are right there if you need to pause it and get them. If not, I'll go ahead and tell you again. The bullish case, you need a closure above 31.68 on an hourly time frame basis. Bearish case, you want to see failure at 30.95. On the bearish side, the target is 26.50. On the bullish side, the target is 35.91. All right, and NNDM is in an uptrend. All right, I have that level drawn from an 8-hour, I believe, or the daily, because this is a stock. So you did a strong push, and then a higher low support market structure here, and then a push higher. That's very bullish. This is a good looking chart. So far, it is holding. Now, when you got back up in this area, sellers did re-enter the market. So let's go back into an hourly time frame and see what's what. All right, here we go. So your main area of support that hasn't been tested yet is 8.15, $8.15. As long as you're closing hourly candles above that level, you can look to get long again. All right, but the main area that what I would want to see before I got long on this level, because essentially you could just be buying or trying to catch a falling knife, is I would want to see price show me a willingness to trade above this small market structure high. All right, now this is just an hourly chart, so it's not a massive market structure. This is your bigger market structure, but I would at least want to see a wick through and take out these highs. If I got that and then a retest, I would look for a lower high support and enter long, targeting this area here first at 9.24, but ultimately $9.90. Now, if you close an 8-hour or a 1-hour candle back below 8.15, this trend line area is a good spot to look for lower high support still. All right, I'm still not bearish on this until you get a closure above this trend line and a retest and fail. If you get that, this thing is heading much lower. Okay, but as of right now, it is still positioned to the bullish side. All right, guys, that's all I got for you tonight. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification. It really does help me out, guys. Also, if you're new to this channel and you have an asset that you want me to look at, make sure you leave the ticker symbol in the comment section below. And in the next video, I will go over that ticker symbol for you. All right? So just drop it in the comment section below. Also, if you don't mind, could you please give me a time frame as to what you're looking at? Is it a longer term trade, or are you looking to hold it for 5-10 years? Are you looking to scalp it? Are you looking for a day trade or a 2 or 3 week swing trade? Whatever you're looking for on that trade, make sure you at least tell me your time parameter. That way I have something to work with, and I'm not just giving you these, intraday market structure areas to look for, because I'm more scalp minded. I do take swing trades, obviously. However, if I'm looking for near-term prices, because I'm looking to scalp the next day's daily expansion. So just make sure you let me know in the comment section below what your time horizon is. And with all that said, guys, thank you very much for your support, and I'll catch you on the next video.